Hello, I'm Nigel.
I'm June.
Yes. Well, June, this is our last day in
Last
Perth.
day after our 1 year stay in Perth.
Yes, we've been here just over 1 year
Yeah, unbelievable.
and flying out to Malaysia tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
So this is our last visit to Dom Cafe.
West End, this is one of our regular
Yeah.
cafes. Very nice staff. Good for doing our type of work
Yeah,
here.
our regular place, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite sad, isn't it?
Something, but I don't feel like I'm leaving.
Oh, really?
How about you?
I do feel like I'm leaving. I went for a run this morning
I
around
see.
Kings Park and it was my goodbye. It was my goodbye to the park.
Yeah, I feel like I'm coming back soon again.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
but
nice.
we are not coming back. So.
I'd like to think I'm coming back. I
Maybe
really
I'm
enjoyed my time
starting
here.
feeling sad soon this evening.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, the purpose for this video is for June and I to list our top 5 likes
Yeah.
from our experiences in Perth for the last year and top 5 dislikes. So we're just going to read those out. Do you want to start with your top like first, June?
Okay, my top first like
First
part.
one?
Yeah, part. One of them is this completely non-smoking environment, not just inside but outside. You see the tables, but you don't really find any ashtrays because even outside tables non-smoking.
Yeah.
So we are non-smokers, so it's great for us. I don't know about who smokes or not, but it was great for us.
Yeah. And that's similar for me. I didn't put that down as one of my top 5 lists, but I think I just took it for granted that there was no smoking anywhere. I didn't really notice it anywhere. So you just took it, for me, I just took that for example. Okay, I'll do one of my top 5 likes.
Wait.
Jacob's Ladder. You'll see a view of the Jacob's Ladder showing up just above us. But I used to quite often go in the mornings and climb up and down Jacob's Ladder to get some exercise. And for me, it was just a great way to start the day, get some exercise. And I know I'd have a good start to the day with just that bit of exercise. So it's a small thing, but for me personally, Jacob's Ladder. Okay, June, your next one?
Okay, my next one is free bus in park. They have cut bus and also normal buses are free inside the certain areas, and we used both buses and you didn't have to pay any fare, which is very handy and I really liked it.
And again, we've got a video above us showing that.
Yes, we filmed about the bus,
So
free
link
bus,
to
so
that
you can see there.
if you're interested in that. Interesting enough,
Yeah.
at the beginning, I really liked the free buses, all the free buses.
Yeah.
But after I got my new phone that told me you have to lose a lot of weight because you're very obese, you have to do so much walking each day, I started walking. And when I was walking this morning, I felt it's so nice just to walk around Perth. I just appreciate just walking around the city is just so nice. So,
Yeah, it's not a big city, so you can actually walk around
Yeah.
a little bit distance, but from our place to the center of the city, not really much distance. So
and it's relatively safe, especially during the day, to walk around.
But still handy to have free buses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect to have free buses, and we used to use them all the time. But
Yeah.
I just sort of thought it's very pleasant to walk around here as well.
Yeah.
Okay, my next surprise, Kings Park. Again, that's a video above us of Kings Park, really long. I suppose coming from the Philippines and arriving in Perth, then going to Kings Park, it was, wow, what is this place like? It's absolutely amazing park. Again, if you look at our video, you'll just see bits and pieces of what it's like. Huge park, but absolutely well maintained. And I'd go for runs around there as well. Amazing scenery, just an amazing experience for me.
Yeah, related to that also, I like the clean air of parks because, as Nigel mentioned, that we came from Philippines and we lived in Manila for a while, and the air wasn't so clean. It's like lots of pollution there, to be honest. Air is here is pretty clean compared to there.
Except when they have a big fire.
Oh yes, Bathurst recently had a big fire, bushfire, and big smoke came to our place and smelled a lot.
Yeah, but other than that, very clean air. Okay, back to me. My next thing I liked about Perth was the weather. Similar to yours about the clean air, but blue sky every day.
Even no cloud.
No clouds, like just about every day of the year. Your lovely blue sky, warm weather. So really appreciated that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 7 days a week and 30 days a month.
31 days a month.
Yeah, every day it's good weather.
300 days a year. Around
Very
about that.
rare it rains.
Yeah.
And also no humidity.
Yeah, so and that does take a bit getting used to, because sometimes humidity can be too low. You can get like dry throats or dry lips. So bring plenty of water with you if you're not used to such a low humidity. It's the opposite of a place like Brisbane, where you can get very high humidity. Perth, Mediterranean climate.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, but the weather is really great here. So
Fantastic weather.
fantastic thing.
Okay, June, your next one.
I also like the access to the beach. Beach is about half an hour away by bus or car, and you will see really beautiful beach with blue colored sea and beach, which is beautiful.
Yeah, so the beaches are close by. You can just catch a bus there. Sand very soft.
Yes, and soft.
The beaches on Perth itself, the water was quite warm, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So, just a lovely place to be if you've got the spare
good for
chance.
swim, and also it's good for those who do surfing as well.
Oh yeah. Surfing is, as you can expect in Australia, surfing's a popular
also
pastime.
diving, I guess,
Yeah. Just watch out for the sharks.
Yeah, sharks was there.
Yeah. Okay, my next one is similar to yours. I put beautiful scenery, not just the beaches, but when we went to down to Margaret River.
Yes.
Just driving around, I just enjoyed seeing the Australian style scenery, especially when we went on that trip to Wave Rock.
Yep.
And down the south of Australia as well. It was very pretty. Outstanding scenery all around Western Australia.
Yeah, if you travel around Western Australia, it's really great.
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic.
If you can take a few weeks, a few months off and just drive around.
Yeah, and you will see
Beautiful.
lots of animals, like kangaroo, of course, and what else? Kookaburra, lots of kookaburras.
Lots of birds, wildlife birds. So.
Yeah, and if you go to the next island, you will see quokka, it's like small wallabies.
We have one of those in one of our videos as well above us when we go to Rock Nest. You'll see one of these, and yeah, this is an example of that.
Yeah, good for tourism.
Yeah. Okay, the next one from you, June.
Next to have okay. Next would be lots of green and parks. It relates to what Nigel already said. Greens everywhere at our environment. So not just King's Park, but you see green everywhere.
Yeah.
More lawns.
Yeah. One thing about Kings Park is it's not naturally that way. If you happen to go into Kings Park early in the morning, you'll see lots of sprinklers come up every morning. They rise up out like a periscope out of the ground. And then, so if you're not careful and you don't expect it, especially if you're trying to sleep in the park in summertime, you'll get a nice cold shower. Yeah.
And you have picnic there. Just get some snacks. Good.
Okay. And mine, I actually put Rottnest Island. A spectacular trip. If you look above, you'll see our video on Rottnest Island, how we spent the day there. To me, it was, we went there at least 3 or 4 times. It was just, really enjoyed our trips there. And you can spend the night there if you want to as well. So look at the video above us and you'll see why we like Rottnest Island so much. Okay, June, dislikes. Shall I start first?
What we didn't dislike, what we dislike.
Yeah. Shall I start first?
Yes, Nigel. Start first. Yeah.
Everything closes in the city after 6 o'clock, and the weekends the city completely shuts down. So all the office people, a lot of them live in the suburbs, out of the town centre. So all the shops, restaurants, bars, most of them shuts down, and because it's a big city, it turns into a bit of a coast town. So that was just one of my dislikes.
Yeah, one of the big cities in Western Australia, but not really night culture. You go out and night time, not many shops is open. It's completely closed.
Yeah.
Even cafes.
Yeah.
Closed.
And a lot of the cafes closed. So, for people like us who like the cafe culture and like spending a bit of time in the city during the weekend, the city centre itself is it does quite a bit of stuff does shut down.
I remember that in Japan, Asia, or even in France, they can go to cafe at night time, have a coffee there, but that culture doesn't exist here.
Yeah. That's it. Across to you, June.
Okay, sorry, I talked too much. Okay, the one thing I didn't like, the access from the airport to the Perth city by bus. There's no airport bus, which we talked in the footage, but it's difficult to catch a bus to Perth city unless you catch a taxi. You have to go to domestic terminal with the free shuttle bus, and then you will catch the local Transbus bus to city. So there's no direct bus, which is not good. Also, there's no proper guidance or information how to get to the city. So it might confuse the foreign tourists from outside.
Yeah, I felt the airports were set up for just the normal local people who had cars, and to drive there is fine.
Yeah.
But for travellers or people but like us who wanted to use the a budget method of travelling to the airport, 2 buses to get to the international airport. But a bit of hard work
Yeah, if you
for a
come
growing
with
city.
groups like 4 or 5 people, it's okay to use taxi. But like us, or couples or solo travelers, taxi is a bit expensive. So
The airport's not that far. It's about 10 kilometres from the city centre. So you'd think sooner or later, once it's a pretty wealthy city, they will have a train coming from the airport into the city.
Airport direct bus.
Eventually, that sort of should happen in the future. But yeah, good points, June. Okay, across to me.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to put there's certain dodgy areas after dark that you've got to be careful where you're walking around. Northbridge or just near the train station. You just got to be a little bit careful where you're walking. There's different kinds of people will start appearing at that time of night. And when we said the city shuts down, there's not so much people around. So So to me, it's just. The city changes a bit and you get a different type of people appear, and so you just got to be a bit more self-conscious of it. I don't think Perth's a very dangerous city, but there's certain places where you got to be pretty careful and use forward to the thinking if you're going to visit these places once it gets dark.
Yeah, be careful. Yeah, not completely safe. Depends on where you go and what time you go out. Sometimes dodgy or dangerous people are there. So.
Yeah. Okay, Jane, you go on.
Okay, I didn't like the Perth house, didn't have proper heating, which we had in the UK, the central heating, which is not here. You think Perth might be warm in the winter, but in my opinion, Perth winter was very cold, so it's really proper heating, central heating. It's not available. You have to buy gas heater separately on your own.
Yeah. So during winter time, Perth's actually quite warm with the sunshine and everything. But at night time, the temperature does drop. And
daytime okay, but what I mean is like night time, sometimes like close to 0 degree.
Yeah. Yeah, it does drop definitely under 10. And in summertime, it's not a problem. Perth,
no problem.
everyone has air conditioning and they understand the culture of fighting the heat. But in winter time, it's like, we're not a cold place, but it can get a bit cold at night time.
Yeah, I had to use the hot water bottle.
Yeah.
Because it was so cold. I couldn't stand just like air conditioner.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Okay, another one for me. Expensive beer. You're probably talking on average $10. Sure, you can get a pint or a large schooner cheaper than that, but that's not the norm. The average price you're looking at $10 or upwards for a bottle of beer or a glass of beer. So it's not cheap to sit outside and have a beer. You're better off going to the bottle store and getting yourself 24 bottles of beer and drinking at home or in Kings Park.
In Australia, you cannot get that single bottles from supermarket. You have to go to bottle shop to buy like dozen of.
You can't get any alcohol from the supermarkets.
Oh yeah.
Not like the
while
UK.
UK or Japan, you can get from supermarket, but.
Or Japan, you can get it on the street from a vending machine. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, your one, June.
Okay, what I didn't like was bicycle can bike on the footpath, which was a bit dangerous, especially in the slope. People bike very fast from the top, and I felt like really scary because they might hit me.
So normally when you cross the road, you look left and you look right to cross the road. But we actually have to look left and right before walking onto the footpath because these bicycles go faster than the speed limit on our street. The speed limit on our street is 40 kilometres an hour. These bikes go as fast as they can down there, and some of them are like a foot away from where we exit our apartment onto the footpath, and so you just feel this wind like that, and it's amazing no one's been seriously injured because the speed they go at on a footpath down a hill is just crazy.
Like on the road if they have that.
It's going that speed, yeah. But the reason is they would maybe get pulled over by the police going that speed on the road because they'd be breaking the speed limit. But I don't think there's a speed limit on the footpath, so you can go 60 kilometres an hour on the footpath. So, oh no, I'm going too fast for the road. I better go on the footpath so I can keep going fast. Yes, don't worry about pedestrians. Yes, they will get out of my way.
It must have been one day they will have accident from that.
And there's a few old people who, it's an effort to move their necks. And, they're going to go out and you're going to have some person going 60, 80 kilometres an hour down a footpath, bang, the speed they go at crazy.
Happens, that's what I'm afraid of that.
Yeah. You don't mind people cycling on the footpath, but you do when they're going at crazy speeds, which a lot do.
Yeah, just slow is okay because the footpath is quite wide, so as long as you go very slow or just moderate speed, that's fine, but some people really fast and dangerous.
Yeah. Okay, is another one for me, is it? I'm going to say that living in a country like Australia, it's a Western country, technology advanced, but the internet, and you're uploading these YouTube videos, not the best. Very slow upload speeds. So the expectations of Australia having fast internet, and we're still on the ADSL, not the cable. Internet not that fast compared to other countries.
Like Japan or other. Yeah.
Do you have any more on your list, Jane?
I think I had. Nigel might have already mentioned about not many bars. It's open nighttime. Even restaurant, not many opens around here nighttime. This is good for evening. Not many proper restaurants around here either. So there's no culture. Maybe a little bit boring, especially for younger people, travelers.
Yeah, I think So that's the same one as what I mentioned, June.
We are not young, so not that young and not traveler, but felt like a little bit boring for that.
Okay, So it's the same as what I had, June.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one more left, and it's the first time I've noticed this on such a scale. When you get a phone in Perth, make sure that the number's not disclosed, that you have a withheld number. I'm not too sure if I did that, but especially locally from even my bank, I was getting cold calling for different insurances, but a lot of calls were coming from India, whether I wanted solar heating on the roof of their building apartment to having viruses on my Windows computer. We only use Macs. Every day these people would tell us, you're going to have to pay for this Windows software. But I have a Mac. I don't have any Windows computer. So it's the Windows, crazy calls 2 or 3 times a day. At the end of the day, I was just unplugging the phone because cold calling, crazy really. I just wish I'd...
Crazy level, wasn't it?
if you do come to Perth, make sure your number's withheld. You don't want your phone going off 3 or 4 times a day or more from these offshore telephone sales company.
Also, I think it's all over Australia, not just Perth.
Yeah, it's an Australian thing, but it was a significant dislike I had. I think that's all our dislikes and likes sort of recapped here.
So,
I will make one comment. I had a lot more. I could have put a lot more in my likes, and I spent a lot more time trying to find dislikes about Perth. So I think that sort of says one thing about Perth, that I sort of really like the city, and I had to think hard to find dislikes.
Yeah, even considering about dislikes, we both really liked about Perth.
Yeah, outstanding city.
It was a really good experience to live in Perth.
And it's going to
really enjoyed.
It's going to be sad to be leaving.
Yeah, a little bit sad to leave, but we decided to relocate to Japan.
Yeah, so we have a new adventure, and our channel is going to take a decidedly change in our style. We will then start focusing on the Japan culture and explaining everything that Japan's got to offer in our future vlogs.
Yep.
I think that's it for this one.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching it. Yeah, see you soon again.
Bye for now.
Bye.